So the body of Nolan Wells has been found, and guys, this story is a bit crazy. This story is something that has continued to happen to a lot of us throughout history. This is something that it's the reality for a lot of the people over in America. Now I don't know if you guys are familiar, and some of you guys probably are, but Mississippi is probably one of the worst racist states in the country of America, hands down, top three for sure. And these type of things is something that we have been living and being a part of ever since we've been in that environment. Now, it's mighty funny and mysterious that, supposedly he went out with his friends on the 4th of July, and he was the only black person in that group of friends that he were with. And they said that he went out, was talking to a young lady, and then they didn't see him anymore after that. But ever since that story has come out, now that they've mentioned that, they've seen video footage of them arguing with each other. And there's also been reports that one of the friends' mother is literally a judge. So there's a lot of weird things that's happening, and the friends, quote unquote, don't remember what happened, or if anything happened for that matter. And this is something, as I mentioned, this is something that a lot of us have to deal with in that society. A lot of us feel that we must go around those individuals in order to be accepted, in order to be treated with respect. A lot of people feel like, okay, if I have white friends and they accept me, then I'm accepted into society. Because of what we've been programmed to believe and how we've been made to feel, we're being treated the way that we've been treated in that society. We feel like we have to go and befriend them in order to feel good within ourselves. And that's not the case. We have continued to see how they feel about us, how they're going to continue to act towards us, how they're going to continue to treat us. I don't know if you guys remember, it's a story of a sister named Tamala Horsford. And something similar happened to her in 2018. She went over to a group of friends' house, and they were all supposedly football moms. I know in the South, football is a big thing. Like the mothers, they create groups with each other because the boys or the children are playing the sport. So the mothers would do their own thing outside of that to keep them to grow a relationship with them. And I know my mother is a part of a group like that. Me and my friends and I, we played football when I was younger, and at that time the mothers were hanging together and doing things, and now they're still doing the same thing. But in this particular community, one of our sisters, she went over to a house with all white people. She was the only black person there. And it was reported that she went outside at 2 a.m. to smoke a cigarette. And then they ended up finding her between 7 and 8 a.m. under the deck of where she went to smoke the cigarette at outside. And let the people who are still alive, let them tell it that, oh, it was a good day, nothing happened, we don't know where she disappeared to, and nothing has come from that case. And this is something that happened in 2018. And now here we are in 2026, and something similar has happened to our brother Nolan Wells. Do you guys think that this is a coincidence? And this is just the story that we're hearing about. There's so many stories that we do not hear about. I even have a friend of mine. I graduated in 2012, and we graduated at the same time. And her brother was lynched. She's been posting videos and things on Facebook talking about how her brother was taken away from her by ignorant racist individuals. And that is something that we unfortunately have to continue to deal with within that society. And they will say that our murders or deaths are accidents. But when you are black in that society, a lot of things that happen to us aren't really accidents. A lot of those things are strategic. People have done things intentionally to try and hurt us, to try and cause harm. And then they will report it like it's an accident. And I don't want to continue to, go deeper into this story because first, rest in peace to the family. I mean, rest in peace to Nolan and his family. My condolences go out to them. But I just want to know, how are we feeling mentally? How are we doing with continuing to see this? Now, we don't have to continue to stay in these environments and deal with this type of mess. 6 years ago, my wife and I, we left America, and we came over to East Africa, Tanzania, and we decided to build over here and leave the West alone because of situations like this. At the time, it was the George Floyd situation, and we knew that things would continue to happen if people reacted in the way that they did towards George Floyd and nothing changed. We knew that it would continue to happen. Before the George Floyd situation, I was one of the brothers that felt like, you know, if I just act right, if I just be one of the good ones, if I just, took my black in and just move with a certain type of way, then I will gain respect in that society. A lot of us feel that. We may not admit it, we may not be bold enough to, call that feeling out. But a lot of us feel like, okay, if I just stay out of the way, if I become one of the good niggas, they'll treat me right. And after George Floyd, I saw that, it wouldn't change. They want things to go their way. The way that this system is set up is intentionally set up in that manner so that people can continue to take advantage of the opportunities that they feel that they have by being quote unquote over us. So we have to really look at this for what it really is. Things aren't going to change. They prefer to keep us in that situation. They prefer to take advantage of us, and they prefer to use us for how they feel or see fit. Now, speaking of Africa, if you're someone who's thinking of coming over here and you want to figure out what it takes to get set up, my wife and I, we're hosting a 6-week Repat Bootcamp that started on July the 26th. We'll be meeting once a week via Zoom, and we will also be in a WhatsApp accountability group to discuss everything you need to know in order to come over here successfully. We're going to talk about what it takes to set up a business. We're going to talk about the legal and administrative setup. We're going to talk about overcoming the cultural unknowns, investing over here, and so much more. So if you want to be around a community of like-minded individuals, make sure you join us so that you can learn what it takes to come over here successfully. Throughout our past cohorts, we've had people to come together. They came over here to visit. They come over here to set up businesses. Some of them have even come over here to retire and live the rest of their lives and start their lives new with their families. So if you're serious about coming over here, make sure you join us in our boot camp so that we can help you make the move successfully. All right. We will see all of the serious people there. So how are we doing with still staying in that environment? I know some of my people on this channel, they comment and say they want to get out of America. They see why they need to leave. They want to get things done to make the provisions to make it happen. But we need to make sure that we protect our mental health as well. To continue to see things like this come across the news about us isn't something that's good. We shouldn't have to continue to keep ripping the Band-Aid off of the murders that we keep trying to heal from. It seems like every other week there's someone else that we have to say, oh man, another one down, another one died. Why are we still subjugating ourselves to this? Let's figure out how we can really heal and remove ourselves from that environment. Some people like to say finances are holding them back. That's an excuse that a lot of us try to put on ourselves. If you have a gift, if you have an understanding, if you can think for yourself, you can create something for yourself. You don't have to continue to believe that you are broke. There's a lot of ways that we can make money within the crypto space. There's a lot of ways that we can make money online. There's a lot of ways that we can make money with AI. There's a lot of ways that we can benefit from the times that are here right now. But a lot of us have adopted the poverty mindset, and we feel like we must stay in that society and continue to ask for a handout and keep our hands out. And we seeing where that's getting us. Sitting there and waiting for a handout isn't the best route moving forward, people. We have choices and we know how we need to move, but a lot of people are just afraid of the unknown. You have to overcome the fear of the unknown in order to really be able to benefit and take advantage of the opportunities in the world. And some people are just so afraid to think outside of the box because we've been made to think inside of a box. And it's scary to do something different. I understand. I feel you 100% in terms of, oh, I don't know what to do, and there's a little bit of fear that comes from doing something along these lines and removing yourself out of that's what's known to a lot of us. That's home, that's comfort. But we have to get out of our comfort zones. We have to say, okay, this isn't good. This isn't beneficial. When I first decided to leave America, I was in Memphis at first. I was in Memphis, and then I left Memphis and went to Nashville, and then I came all the way to Africa. But me being in Memphis, when I first left Memphis, I knew I had to because it was just the environment wasn't good. I knew one wrong move, I could end up in a bad situation. I could be intentionally hurt by someone of another race or someone that's within my race just because of the ignorance that we've been programmed to think and feel towards each other. So that environment it breeds dysfunction, and it breeds us not being able to work with each other, fight with each other together, and build alongside one another just because of what we've been trained and programmed to believe. And stepping outside of that, you get to see the world in a completely different way. So I'm always trying to encourage my people to step outside of their comfort zone. Nolan shouldn't have been in that situation. I saw an elder gentleman from Mississippi. He was like, "Man, I've been living in Mississippi for almost half a century. And why was that black boy going out there with no white boy by himself?" Like that's a common tip that we get growing up in that society. We know like, hey, you don't want to get caught by yourself. At least have somebody with you. At least move with a little bit. Have somebody around you that's one of you that can help you. And I went to school in Mississippi, so I understand how Mississippi. I got family in Mississippi. I used to travel to Mississippi, and I know the racist is, or if that's a word, just how racist things can get in that environment. So we can't be ignorant to the devices of that system. They breed off of that. They take advantage of us if we don't think fully for ourselves. So unfortunately, one of our brothers got caught in that situation, and it's very sad. And it's something that's going to continue to happen just because of the way that system is set up. You may get pockets of people within some of these communities who mean well, who don't agree with it, but unfortunately, the overwhelming majority are okay with the ignorance. They are okay with it. They will turn a blind eye to it. I'm sure somebody on their boat, they saw what happened and they're feeling terrible about it, but they're not going to tell on their friend. They're not going to tell on their brother or sister who did it unless investigation continue to go deeper and then it comes out. But most likely someone isn't going to snitch until maybe 50 years down the line when they're on their deathbed. A lot of that has happened to a lot of our people too. People have lied on our people, gotten our people killed, gotten our people sent to jail, and then when they're on their deathbed, they want to repent and say, "Oh, I lied on such and such a long time ago." That happened to Emmett Till and so many other people. So, guys, we have to just take a deep breath for one and remove ourselves from that environment, man. I've been preaching this for the past 6 years. I think it's better for us to get out of that environment. That's just my opinion. You can still build if you want to. You can still take that risk. You can still try and do whatever you feel you can do in that society. But I'm of the opinion that we can build something outside of that. We can grow outside of that. We can really think outside of the box that we've been forced to think in and really do and create it. So, guys, let this be a lesson. Let let this be an experience that we can take notes from, and we can really take heed with what's happening in the West right now. As I mentioned, this is just one of the stories that we have access to currently. They aren't talking about everything that's happening. They aren't giving us updates on every individual that's being murdered intentionally. They don't want us to know. They don't want us to have the full truth about what's really happening over there. So we understand what's happening. We've seen it. A lot of us are living it. A lot of us, unfortunately, have experienced the racism, the police brutality, all of that. And as I mentioned, it's not just those things that we have to deal with. There's ignorance within our own culture as well, just because of the society, just because of the way that we've been made to work with each other, build with each other, and connect with each other. There's a lot of ignorance that we must deal with. So I'm trying to help people to overcome that, all right? So I invite you guys over to join us at our website, t3me.org. You can figure out how to get connected to our community, figure out how you can get connected to some of the events that we have. And my wife and I, we offer consultations. I'm a licensed realtor with Remax Coastal, and my wife is a clinical herbal practitioner, and she loves to help people in a natural way. So if you want to get consultations or anything, just head over to our website and you can schedule a time and look and see what we have to offer to be able to help you out. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention, and I hope this was able to bring you some value. You really see the value of us removing ourselves from that environment and really planting our roots back on the continent, okay? Y'all make sure y'all stay safe out there. Take care of y'all mental health and keep the shalom peace, all right? Do not let these people stop y'all. Shalom.